Hey there, Daver here. Welcome to the show.
Hey, this guy's Chad.
And Chandler is back as well. How we doing, boys? We recovered from Wrestle Dream.
Yeah, a lot of driving. Then the day after, decided to go out to the coast and back in the same day too. So
Oh, just for fun? That sounds like a fun time.
yeah. The dogs had never been, so we let them run up and down the beach a bunch, and they're still sleeping today.
Ah, that's nice.
Good. All tuckered out.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three of us got to watch the pay-per-view live. We've had really, really good seats. We weren't close, but great view. Especially
the shape
compared to
of the
last
dome
year.
was nice and gradual. It was like we were almost like a little above eye level. It was great.
Yeah. Last year sucked. We were on the floor, like 13 rows back. Couldn't see anything. So yeah, it was a fun time. I'm gonna say the first 2/3 of the pay-per-view were really, really good.
Yeah.
And
My
then
my expectations were pretty. I think all of ours were a little low, just because the build was sort of meh. And then, I was like you said, 3/4 of the way, I'm like, holy fuck, I'm having a really good time. Like, the crowd was hot, and hanging out with you guys, it was just a good time.
Yeah, because if there was a bit in the match or like a lull, we would just yap like we typically do. But yeah, even matches like Brian Cage and Atlantis Jr., I was like, wow, this is a really fun match. And the 0 hour moved along really quickly. I don't think, like, looking back at this card, there wasn't really a match that I was like, oh, that sucked. Or like, there's always at least one match on an AEW card, at least for me, where I'm like, oh, that was like that shouldn't have been on the card. But
Yeah.
everything was like, oh, I see its place. Like, even the Jericho match, as crazy as it is that it was the semi-main, it makes sense, you know? You needed a feel-good win before that tragedy that was the main event.
Yeah. It was funny every time Aubrey came out. We're like, oh, Jericho's coming out. I can finally go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we just started laughing when they were like, okay, next up is Young Bucks and Private Party. We were like, oh, no.
Oh my God, is he the main event?
Mm-hmm. But we did see what I would probably call the greatest match I've ever seen live. And it is now in that, like, rarefied favorite matches of mine, like Omega Ospreay at Forbidden Door, Swerve Hangman, Death Match, Storm and Mariah May, like that type of tier. I got a new one, which, gee, I wonder which one it was, huh? Any guesses?
Not
Anna
only
Jay
was it an amazing match, but your boy got some gold.
Finally, my God, I'm sure I was a little embarrassing next to you two, but I was freaking out. Like,
awesome.
It was real to me, damn it. It was real
the whole
to me.
crowd was getting almost like oh shit, I can't remember. There's like a Johnny Gargano match, like where everybody's like, who's this guy? And then by the end, like the whole crowd was behind him. Like everybody was cheering him on. It was amazing.
That's how every Takeshita match goes, because he comes out with Don Callis and they go, boo, you stink. And then he does crazy shit. And they're like, oh, wait, this guy's like one of the greatest guys out there. Like, I'm not going to say he got cheered more than Ospreay, because Ospreay is undoubtedly their most over person on their roster, except for maybe like Danielson. But
He was
like,
on par.
He was on par, which is crazy for a guy who doesn't talk and is with Don Callis, you know?
Yeah, no. The thing I loved about that match too is it didn't follow the usual triple threat. Guy gets hurt, rolls out, lays there while the other two go at it. Like, it was just pedal to the metal. Like, I was like, what the fuck is going on the whole time?
Yeah. By the way, I'm tallying up votes, viewers, so I'm still a part of this. I just might be looking down and calculating. So we're gonna find out who the winner is live on air.
yeah, our predictions. I love it. We didn't get any big debuts. No Shane McMahon, no Bobby Lashley, but we got 2 returns.
Yeah.
Pretty noteworthy in the same segment. MJF coming back after filming Happy Gilmore 2.
Apparently,
And
he's not
then
actually done filming. He was done filming for the week. He still has to go back and finish it.
okay.
By the
Okay.
way, the 2 returns, I'll just spoil that. We all said no. None
Right?
of us thought Adam Cole and none of us thought MJF. But Shane O'Mac, oh baby.
Yeah, Shane O'Mac. Then we got Adam Cole, baby. Um, really good to see him. He's just a face now.
Who
I'm
knows?
okay with
He
it.
hasn't actually said anything yet. Like we're all inferring that.
But he
I mean,
came
he
out to save
at the
Danielson at
end.
the end.
Oh, true,
Yeah,
true.
yeah. So yeah, he'll probably just be like, yeah, I was out for a long time and I had a lot of time to think.
Maybe he's just gonna re-debut as Chugs.
Ooh.
Ooh, I like that. Um, but yeah, we got a great opener. Hangman Jay White, Willow and Mariah May were freaking phenomenal. Um, TNT title match was okay. It
I
was it
liked
was
it.
it was good.
I liked watching Shibata tear apart Jack Perry. It just had a lame finish, but I think that was the point.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it more. But if Jack Perry's gonna do a Weasley chicken shit finish, he can't go around and be like, the sacrifice I do for AEW
Right.
is off the chart." I know that's not Jack Perry, but I still think he's my least favorite person in AEW.
Yeah. Man, even Hologram and the Beast Mortos that
Oof.
killed it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, love Lucha Libre. I mean, it's a different style. Like, not everyone's really used to that
Yeah.
type of wrestling, but like anyone can get into it once they get into their rhythm and start really going. Like, oh,
Yeah.
unbelievable
And they did
magic.
stuff
Mwah.
that I think they just invented in that match. Like that frigging slingshot crucifix bomb thing from the first pin. What the hell?
Hmm. Yeah, there's so much talent. Like at first, I was like, man, this is like a dynamite match or a collision match, but
Yeah.
no,
I guess the
it
big
wasn't.
reason they put it on was because the new Fox Sports deal in Mexico. It
Mhm.
was, because they're going to be showing the pay per views. So they wanted to showcase some Lucha Libre on there for that new market.
Yeah, smart move.
Yeah,
Really
why not?
enjoyed
Maybe
that.
that's why they've been putting hologram on all these shows, but it's like it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's like when WWE was trying to get like more Japanese viewers, they were pushing Shinsuke Nakamura to the top of the card. But it was also, I think, they were trying to get Okada too. So I think it was a bit of both.
What about the power of Tozawa?
Ooh, if only.
Um, Going back to Takeshita, he's going to be defending the international title at Maple Leaf Wrestling
Hell yeah.
Really,
against.
that's
I'm
awesome.
I'm ordering that pay per view. Like I think I'm gonna
It's sounding like a
start
pretty good card.
from the ground up. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna be a fan of it. Like I just don't know why they have to do 2 nights to start it off. Like, um,
Yeah, I don't want a two match or 2 night pay per views are already kind of getting out of hand. Like WrestleMania being 2 nights, yeah, it's the biggest show in
Yeah.
wrestling. That would make sense. Wrestle Kingdom being 2 nights, yeah, it was the biggest show outside of WWE. Now it's all in, but like that makes sense. SummerSlam being 2 nights, no. But maybe they got something good with the Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling.
yeah, they got let's see, commentary is I think Don Callis
Yo,
and Morello.
Oh, cool.
oh,
Yeah,
Mauro
yeah, yeah.
Ranallo.
I remember being geeked out over him.
Yeah. So I knew you two were gonna be happy about that. I've never heard him commentate, but
That's a
yeah, I'm.
lie. You watched
Yeah.
Keith Lee versus Dominic
Yeah, he was on
Dijakovic.
there.
He was
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
Mamma
Yeah,
Mia.
he's the very
Okay.
boisterous, excited guy.
Okay. I don't remember that, but it happened.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get from the ground up. I mean, they do have clearly a working partnership with AEW at this point. So yeah, Athena will be there.
Hell yeah.
Can't remember who else. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in it. Hopefully, they put on a good show, great production. I want it to have a big feel too. So yeah. Darby Allen, Brody King, brutal match. I did not think Darby was going to pull that one out and win. He got the job done though.
Yeah.
A lot of people are speculating Darby's going to take the belt off Danielson too.
That would make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, my I was talking to Dave off camera. I guess I listened to Sean Ross Sapp, and Lashley is like signed and ready to go, and they strongly considered bringing him in, but they didn't want to have him come in and wreck Swerve and Danielson. Like they didn't want to like Vince McMahon, the hometown crowd, basically.
Oh, that's
So they
smart.
pulled him. So I'm thinking maybe the original plan was, for Darby to win win the belts and retire Danielson, and maybe it would have been like more of a feel good like handshake and hugs at the end, and then they would have had the thing with Swerve. But
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to demolish both the hometown guys in one night.
I found some news about Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, like some more matches and wrestlers. So if we want to talk about that a little bit more, I found it. But if we want to move on to Wrestle Dream, we can move on.
Yeah, what do you got? Who else is going to be on the card?
So
I know Bully Ray. Bully Ray will be there.
yeah, Takeshita and Josh Alexander are the night 2 main event for the AEW International Title match. That will be fantastic. Speedball Mike Bailey versus El Phantasmo. I think that's just a match, but that'll be cool. I'm only gonna say like matches that people really know. Kylie Ray will be there.
Love her.
I don't really know. It's Lainey Luck, Taylor Rising, and Aurora Teves. I don't really know any of them. And then there's you got Josh Alexander, Stu Grayson, and El Phantasmo versus Trevor Lee, Rocky Romero, and Alex Zane. And then, like you said, Bully Ray. But any guesses on who Bully Ray's facing?
I knew, but I can't remember anymore. Dijak?
Someone you should not hinder in any way, shape, or
No
form.
way.
Oh yes.
He's not called that. He's Raj Desi. We'll call him by his actual new name, but Jinder.
Dude,
But yeah,
I'm
so
liking it.
should be a good show. They got Takeshita there. Come on, that's already a 5 out of 5 pay-per-view.
Who's Athena facing?
I didn't see Athena on there.
Oh, I looked it up a few days ago and I saw her on there.
Look, I think it's more likely that I missed something. Okay, so she's on the card. Like she's on the big Bhupinder Gujar is taking on QT Marshall.
Ooh.
I have QT Marshall news, but we'll get to that later. We'll figure out this Athena thing real quick.
Is it about a certain Pepsi Phil?
No. By the way, real quick, Athena is defending the Ring of Honor Women's World Champion from Giselle Shaw. Giselle Shaw?
Yeah. I know her.
What's the Pepsi Man Phil news about QT Marshall?
QT Marshall got contacted by Cody Rhodes and he lent CM Punk some trunks for his untelevised WWE debut on the Dark show or something, or a Dark match.
Funny.
Huh.
You know how CM Punk's first match back was not televised?
Yeah,
Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
But we've already had our first match basically announced for Full Gear. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
It's
yes.
It's Big Justice of the Costco guys versus QT Marshall at Full Gear, baby. I'm buying tickets. I'm there.
That'll be pre-show, I would imagine.
100 million billion% it's the pre-show. But Costco guys, we bring the boom.
I love it. I love how excited you are for the Costco guys.
They're okay. Like everyone I talk to, they're like, "Oh, they suck. I hate them. They're just TikTok." And I'm like, "I don't even like TikTok. I just love them. They're great."
That's cool. Cool. Yeah, good for that. They're getting eyes on AEW, I guess. Like
Yeah.
a lot of people know them. Maybe the younger crowd. Uh, yeah, not a bad thing at all. Um, but yeah, let's see. We had a tag match for the AEW World Tag Titles. Pretty good match. Private Party, Young Bucks. I think the match was set up to make Private Party look really good, which they did.
Yeah.
I think this match was set up for Private Party to take the tag titles. As
Yeah.
weird as that sounds, like they're just like this is like
Yeah, they're
Cody at
giving him an
WrestleMania.
arc. Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to throw some obstacles in the way.
And that I think the reason why they said oh, you're a mid card for life is because when they do beat him at, I don't know, World's End or something, they'll have that in the package. And I'm sure like if I had to speculate, they were like, oh, it's gonna be Omega Ibushi, but Omega's timeline just keeps being
Yeah.
pushed out. And so they're like, well, people are kind of getting sick of this Young Bucks stuff, so let's find someone else. And they're like, well, Private Party kind of makes sense. And it's like building a new tag team. So I think that's actually a really smart pivot if they go with that. But I also think Omega Ibushi is a good idea if Omega's cleared. Like that's a big if, but Private Party are cleared and people are behind them. So why not?
Yeah, they really got the crowd behind them for that match. Yeah, I even liked the Mark Briscoe Jericho match.
It did what it needed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure did.
It was an opportunity to go to the restroom.
Oh
I didn't get to
man,
go hi. Oh, okay. Jericho was way more over than I thought. A lot of people were waving back at him and going, hi, guys. I was like, what the hell? What
a
is wrong with you,
lot, dude.
Tacoma?
A lot of people, dude. It was weird. Um, yeah. I kind of wanted Jericho to win, to disappear on Ring of Honor for a while, but I'm glad Briscoe pulled this one out and
Yeah, it
got
was
the
a good
win. He
finish.
needed it. Yeah. I don't know what you gain as a Mark Briscoe winning against Jericho. It didn't really elevate him
It's kind
much.
of it's kind of like what they said with Osprey when he beat Jericho. It's like, oh, he beat the first AEW World Champ. He's beat a multi world champ. He's beat a future Hall of Famer. Like Jericho is still a big name who wins an unfortunate amount of the time. So it's to the point where it does still have value if someone beats him. I'll give
Yeah.
Jericho that. There is still value when someone beats him. There isn't a lot of value when it's 6 months down the line and Jericho's beat him twice already.
Yeah.
Then it's not that much value. But Mark Briscoe beat him first out. But then again, like looking back at the Hook Jericho feud, Hook beat Jericho first, right? And then it was like, learning tree, and he took the FTW
Yeah.
title. So hopefully that's the end of the Jericho Briscoe feud.
And I feel like Jericho looked pretty sharp for this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that he's still got a real nice Frankensteiner. That thing was slick.
yeah, we didn't get a lion salt, which I wanted really bad, but yeah, I felt like Jericho did pretty good. He wasn't sluggish or uh slow. Yeah, I think it was a good match for him. He's kind of like been doing that lately, not looking too awful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I will
Um
say, I was poo pooing on the Rocky Romero story, but they did pay it off. So I'll give them that. And they did it in a kind of semi subtle way. So essentially, right? Right after that 8-man tag with like Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, the Outrunners, Premier Athletes, and Dark Order, right? We had Kyle O'Reilly be like, Okada, I want you. And Okada was like, no,
Bitch.
um, So that, and like I was thinking later, and then Adam Pierce came out and said, you, out of my building. I don't want to see you for the rest of the night. Not only did that prevent Okada from cheating and helping the Bucks to win, it prevented Kyle O'Reilly from coming out and helping Mark Briscoe, which is why Rocky Romero had to come out, and thus he chose his side. He chose the conglomeration over the learning tree. So I'll give him a little bit of credit for that, even though I never cared in the beginning. It was something I was thinking about on the drive home where I was like, they did technically pay off the Rocky Romero
Yeah.
storyline in a non WWE where they would have had a backstage segment after, but like, Rocky, thanks for helping us. And he's like, yeah, with the conglomeration all the way. Like, it was like a little subtle. So
Yeah. Yeah. He Wheeler Uted them.
yeah. Speaking of Wheeler Yuta, ooh, the not so great Yuta.
Yeah, man, he got booed, turned on Danielson, turned on Darby, turned on AEW. Oh man, oh man. Yeah, I knew it was coming. Just like I thought it was kind of that ship sailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that main event, man, it was good until 30 seconds before before it ended. It was
And
real
like,
good.
I think that was the point, but like, it's one of those things where when you're watching at home and a pay per view ends in a really sad way, like I wouldn't call it bad because it was not a bad ending. It executed what it wanted, but when it ends in a sad, really deflating way like that, yeah, like you're driving home and you're like, oh, like I gotta think about that. I gotta think about Brian Danielson being in a stretcher and Jeff Jarrett crying, and apparently Excalibur was
Yeah.
crying on commentary. So it's like I gotta think about that. Whereas most people just like turn it off and like go do something else. So it's a little bit different. But like that was the point. And like that's like the only like thing you can come back and say is that was what they wanted. So I'm hoping when they get like I was very firm against like I don't want Darby to world champ. I don't see him as that. But now I do. Now I get the vision. I get it.
Yeah.
He's like
No,
the
maybe this is what he needs. Like I said, maybe seeing it on TV would be different. Just I think I think at least being there live, maybe it played out differently on television. The choke out bell ring, like there was no like tap out 1 2 3. It was like all of a sudden just the bell rang and then other things are happening that didn't it didn't feel very like definitive, like there's a stopping point. And
yeah.
I think that's
I
kind of what shocked the crowd a lot is like, what the hell is going on?
I know he probably did it, but like they should really do the like dramatic 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, because at least then it's like, oh, that's definitive. Like you like expect that, oh, he's gonna rise, and then he
Yeah.
doesn't, and then it like really sinks in. I think I agree with you, Chad. That's like the only thing I would probably change
Cause
is
yeah,
like,
for me, like, I was watching and paying attention, but I'm he locks on a hold, then all of a sudden bell rings and things are happening. And it was like I said, a tap out, the 1 2 3 would have worked, or an actual pin would have worked better. It didn't feel like there was a chapter marker there or something. Like it just also kind of rolled from one thing to the next, and you're like, what just happened?
how about them just putting the title in a bag and then just walking away? Like that's like, oh, you
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, I think I would have if they were gonna have Yuta turn on him anyway, I think I would have rather just had Yuta come out and cost him the match than the way it went
Mm,
down.
I think I disagree because you need Moxley to be a monster. Like we were kind of joking about it, but if you look at the graphic for John Moxley will be there, it literally says Moxley has the title, nobody is safe, and you really need that. So I think I needed Moxley to do this by himself because then it's like it's not just a faction. The guy at the top of the faction is scary too. Like you don't want to go against Moxley right now. Whoever is the main eventing full gear against him is a dead man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I hope they make a real cool baby face when they eventually do. Like, I really hope this plays out well.
The two people that could and should take it are either Darby or I think Orange Cassidy because they
Yeah,
did that bit with Jerry Flynn, like you could be the man around here if you wanted to be. Maybe tweak his character a little bit, make him try. I don't
yeah.
know. make it more intense. I think they could do that a little bit to make it work. And Tony
You
Khan loves him.
you could do Orange Cassidy as the main event for Full Gear and have him be like, well, last year at Full Gear I beat you for the international title. This year I could easily beat you again. Maybe not easily, but I could beat you again. And it's the tragedy of, oh no, Moxley beat him again. That's awful. We just saw it. And that means Darby has to step up at probably Revolution.
Yeah.
I think Revolution's a logical time to pay this off. And it's not like too long where it's like a year and a half of the BCC on top, but it's like a nice 6 months for them to like, oh yeah, Darby won. And Revolution is like, I think Revolution's their second biggest show, isn't it? Like definitely All In. And then it gets a little shaky because it's like it was All Out, but now All Out is right after All In, so it
Yeah.
kind of always gets like
Yeah.
neutered. And then you got maybe Double or Nothing, but at least this Double or Nothing really fell flat for me. It wasn't bad, but it was just kind of like a eh. So I think like Revolution, it's like the first pay per view after a couple months of the new year, gets really people really excited. I think that's a great spot for Darby to take the title potentially.
Yeah, I think he's the man to do it. Uh, Man, that belt is gonna look really big on him.
Yeah, it's like Cody when he won the like WWE title, but like even worse. He's an even smaller man, but it should be good.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, let's get into the actual matches here a little more in depth. They opened the show with Hangman Page versus Jay White. Absolutely love this match. Um, Great storytelling, great selling. Hangman Page with that knee costing him the match.
Yep.
Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. Uh, there were times where it slowed down a bit, to where it let Jay White kind of show what he was made of. He's a tactician. He's really smart in the ring. I really liked how they let that marinate a little bit. Hangman was just uh he's got this enraged look all the time now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Uh yeah. Uh yeah, Page was in control for most of the match. Hangman Page is favoring his knee, which cost him when he tried to do a buckshot lariat at the end. Jay White seamlessly countered that buckshot into a
Oof.
switchblade
Yeah.
Hmm.
for the win, or a
Yeah.
blade runner.
Yeah. For my money, best counter wrestler they've got. He's so good.
Yeah,
That Uranagi did. We were both like, oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. I love that move.
I liked
Mhm.
how he was also really smart and where he was just staggering closer to Hangman, but that meant Hangman couldn't hit the buckshot. Like that's all he had to do was counter the buckshot was get close to him, and then it's bought him enough time for nail him with the Blade Runner. And for now, the Blade Runner's still protected in AEW, which I
Yeah.
think I honestly, because I was all in on Hangman, um, I thought he would have just kicked out of it due to pure rage. Like he would have been like, "I'm mad! How dare you hit me with that?" and then just get up and beat him and win. But no, I think it's a good thing that Jay White won. I'm excited to see what they're doing next.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt stupid, but remember how he's like, now we've got problem number two to deal with. Do you guys know who problem number two is?
Nope.
Christian.
Huh. Wait, I thought I said that last week. Then
I
everybody
think you
poo-pooed that.
did, but I was like, maybe. But it's because Christian was the one who speared him in the match against Hangman. And so it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, duh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
hopefully they're heating him up for the C2. Maybe this year he actually takes the whole thing or at least hits the finals.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, we've really got under Page's skin as a crowd chanting "Whose house? Swerve's house." He did not like that.
Hmm.
Uh, Jay White spit the biggest foamy loogie on Page's stomach I've ever seen.
Like he had a bit of
Uh,
power in here and was just holding it, and then like time.
Remember how I was always saying back before how Jay White's always foaming at the mouth? Like he's just foam coming out of it. Like in previous matches, I think that's what happened again.
Hmm.
Uh, And then that big power bomb from Page to White on the steel steps was pretty cool too. But yeah, love the match. Jay White needed that win coming back from injury. I don't think Adam Page uh, was hurt in any way, taking a loss, but Jay White, gained from
Yeah.
winning a
I
lot
think
more.
I hate to say it because he's still one of my favorite wrestlers going on right now. I think Hangman's going to take some time off. So, I think that's why he lost because like he's going to go away for a bit. But I thought it was like a really nice clinical match. Not my match of the night. Maybe not like even top 3. But like an all around, like if you just want a nice, tight, clean match where there's not too much at stake, but you're just gonna enjoy it, Jay
Yeah.
White and Hangman is like
Perfect
fantastic.
way to set the tone for the night. I thought it was the perfect starter. You said great action, great stuff, not too consequential, but it was enough to get you cheering, and we had fun screaming at Hangman.
Oh, I wanted Hangman to win. I was one
I
of the
know you.
cowboy shitters.
I know you were. Yeah, loved it. Great opener. Fantastic. After that, we got another really good match, man. AEW Women's Title. Mariah May defending against Willow Nightingale. Awesome. Willow pounces Mariah May really early on. Willow did a little cartwheel thing, but Mariah May stopped her in her tracks. Willow gets May in a Indian deathlock and then slams May's head into her own knee. That was awesome. Willow was getting a little nasty. She like
Yeah.
bit Mariah May at one point. Willow almost countered a Hurricane Rana from the top rope with a power bomb, but Mariah May ends up pulling off the Hurricane Rana anyway, and then immediately hits Willow with a running knee, then a Storm Zero for the win. A lot of people were behind Willow on this, and it felt like it could have happened, but it's all right. I
Yeah, it
mean,
was good. It was competitive. No shenanigans. I loved it. I felt like Willow came off as a strong enough contender to actually make me feel like, oh, she's probably going to get that thing sooner rather than later. It just wasn't her night.
Yeah, I think kind of like with Private Party, I think this was a match to build her winning the title, which is kind of crazy. But again, like realistically, we only had a 2-week build on this pay per view.
Yeah.
Like realistically, we only had 2 weeks, so they kind of had to scramble. But I think in the end, like they pulled it off, and they had a lot of good matches. I think like with the tag team match, this is just like, do you want this person to win? Because they're not gonna tonight, but if you really like them, they might. Um, and so I think Willow didn't lose anything. Losing, I mean, she lost the match, but I don't think she lost any luster. And that's kind of my biggest fear, which is why I didn't want her in the match because I was like, I don't want her losing, and
Yeah.
then like,
Right.
where
And
does
then
that
goes
put
to the
her?
bottom of the card and we don't see her for 6 months.
But I actually do have faith in them keeping Willow as hot as she is. I think she's always going to get good reactions, and she's always going to have banger matches. So I think this job was actually really good, or this match, sorry, was really good. And I'm ready, not ready yet, but I would love Willow to be the one to take the title off of Mariah. I think that's as good a shout as any.
yeah. Dude, Willow's so versatile and reliable. Like you can throw her in a death match, a street fight, a normal match, and she's gonna deliver. And she's super over. The crowd loves her, and yeah, she's just so
Yeah.
powerful and
Oh, her
good
moveset
at
is
what she
amazing.
does. Yeah, yeah. And it feels good to like someone who's happy and smiley and like she's the perfect face.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's so she just walks that tightrope because like when she gets pissed off, it's just awesome to watch because it's like, ooh,
Hmm. Yeah, unbelievable. Great match. So far, so good for the pay-per-view. Then we get into a TNT title match. Jack Perry defending against Katsuyori Shibata. Shibata chopped the shit out of Jack Perry over and over, machine gun chops. He's no selling. Uh, Jack Perry chopping him. Shibata suplexes Perry onto the apron from the floor. Dude, Jack Perry's legs just was pretty awkward how they slammed into the apron. Uh, Jack Perry ends up winning by pinning Shibata while he's in a sleeper hold. He just falls backwards, 1, 2, 3, really weird, really awkward.
That's like all
Um,
the offense Jack Perry got in. Like I know he probably did something else, but it feels like looking back, and I unfortunately wasn't able to watch this back. I really wanted to, just didn't have the time. I like it was a really lame ending, but like I really liked the match. But I think it's just because Shibata looked fantastic
Yeah.
and Jack Perry got his shit kicked in. But like obviously, like I hate to say it, this match didn't matter because we had 3 people run out, and like I remember like pointing at you guys, be like, "Remember this was a Jack Perry and Shibata match?" And like now it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed like an excuse just for these 3 dudes to run out.
Well, it was
yeah,
like we got to have Shibata on the card, but he's got to lose. But Jack Perry's not like an Eddie Kingston, where it's okay if Eddie Kingston beats him clean, on the Antonio Inoki Remembrance show. So we'll have him this lame finish, but then we'll have all these people come out and blah 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 and big surprises, and it worked out because it was very surprising. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go after you.
After the match, Perry goes to attack Shibata for a post-match beatdown, but Daniel Garcia runs out, chases him off. Then we get the return of MJF. He comes out, he talks shit to Garcia, uh, beats him down, and then Adam Cole, baby, comes out to chase off MJF. So yeah, two returns. Adam Cole was probably the bigger of the two because he's been gone the longest. Um, yeah, yeah. Garcia, MJF, Adam Cole, uh, part of a Jack Perry Shibata match.
you know what my favorite part about all those runouts? The devil dumpling story never
Right?
happened, guys. Let's just
Yeah.
move on. Like they never need to mention it. Adam Cole is the face, MJF is the heel, because that's
Yeah.
what makes sense. So let's just do that, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. Let's just not reference it. People kind of joke about it for a week or two, and then we'll all move on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be the best bet. They're probably going to address it though.
No, the second Adam Cole's music hit, I fell for it. I popped. I'm like, I fucking love this guy. I don't care.
Yeah, he's the face now, so I'm okay with it. I like him better as a face anyway.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. Uh, two big returns there. Then we get I know your match of the night, Chandler, my match of the night. I don't know about you, Chad,
It
but
sucked.
Yeah, that Ricochet guy, he just botched all his moves. Osprey couldn't like do anything. He just like Osprey sleeping.
Yeah.
We
I
were all
mean, I can't
clapping
believe
that.
Ricochet only did a 450.
Yeah.
Noob.
And then Takeshita just like sat in there and just ate Pocky and just was like,
Yeah.
when's the match gonna start? And then Osprey did the finger poke of doom and like that. Come on, this match sucked.
Yeah. No, it was amazing. Uh International title three-way match. Will Ospreay defending against Ricochet and Kanosuke Takeshita. Oh, loved it. This match was incredible. Uh Takeshita like was a perfect like way to ground the other two guys, and the styles like meshed together
Oof.
perfectly. Like he was able to Takeshita like stopped all their flippy dippy stuff and had their number. Like they were trying
Yeah.
to do all that stuff, but he just shut them down. It was
Yeah.
He did
incredible.
you can always tell when a Takeshita match is going to be fantastic was when you like have a spot you're like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Like I always go back to the Darby Allin Takeshita match at the beginning of this year where Darby hits a big tope and like Takeshita knees him in the head as he's flying and then does his big like I think he suplexed like 3 times and rolled
Oh,
with him
that was
all the way back up the ramp.
incredible.
And I'm like, this is dynamite in the middle of dynamite. What are you doing? So I think that moment for me was when they did their little like they teamed up, which is smart. They put Takeshita out of the ring, and then they did their little thing where they do their little superhero pose, which I'll be honest, I hate that.
Yeah.
You can like it, you can think it's cool. I think it's the lamest thing ever. It makes me cringe. And then you have this big old dude come in and kick them both in the face and ruin it. And a lot of people are like, oh, those old head wrestling fans are going to love that. Yeah, you're right. I did. That was like the best thing I've ever seen. And so right on, I was like, I can't sit down. This match is too much. So the whole time I was up.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. The double high angle German suplex.
Yeah.
I was like, when he did that, I'm like, oh, that belt's his.
Right. But yeah, after the superhero pose and Takeshita drop kicking them both in the head, Ricochet does his backslide bomb again to Ospreay. Love that thing. Never
Yeah.
seen it before. Takeshita gives Ospreay a deadweight German and gives Ricochet a Blue Thunder bomb. Ospreay and Ricochet poison Rana each other back to back. Takeshita German suplexes both of them, like you said, Chad. Takeshita almost wins by stacking and packing Ospreay and Ricochet.
Oh my god. Oh my god. When that happened, I was like, they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. And then like they kicked out. So I was like, oh, that's like that might have been one of the best near falls I've seen in a long time. Because I pitched that as a joke and they were gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just gonna hand you predictions right then and there if that happened. Like,
Mhm.
don't even bother, you win.
At one point, Takeshita gives Ricochet a pile driver through a table on the floor. At this point, Don Callis pulls out the ref, tries to give Osprey a screwdriver to use. Which this is weird. Why would he
No,
be
no,
giving it to?
he was trying to hit Osprey with the screwdriver.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Because him and
And
Osprey are
Osprey,
they hate each other now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Osprey is like, no, 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 and tries to give him a Tiger Driver 91. And then Kyle Fletcher shows up and
Oh,
hits
that's who it
Osprey.
was. I couldn't tell because of the hoodie.
I thought it was Trent Beretta.
I thought it was Hobbs.
Apparently there was a funny bit on commentary where Excalibur was like, "Who is it, guys?" And Nigel was like, "It's Kyle Fletcher." And Excalibur was like, "No, but really, I can't tell." And Nigel was like, "It's
Yep.
Kyle Fletcher." Like I really wish I only heard about that. I really want to watch, especially this match back. But like, goddamn, that was so funny. But we got more big news about Nigel coming in the later night. Like, holy shit, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, dude. So Kyle Fletcher hits Osprey. Um, and Takeshita hits Osprey with a running knee for the win. New international champion. Love it. Absolutely love it. Then Fletcher gives Osprey a Tiger Driver 91. They all stand tall. Takeshita holding the belt. Beautiful moment.
Hmm. Yeah. So obviously I loved this match. I'll let Chad and you two talk because I'm a ramble for a bit. But Chad, scale 1 to 10.
Like 11, 12. It was so much fun. Uh, we've been watching this and like even just over the past year, we've seen so many just incredible high caliber matches. To actually be there in a crowd for that though, like wow, that was something special. And that was a good crowd too, man. It was
Hmm.
loud, it was fun. Takeshita had the crowd on his side by the end. It was amazing. It was yeah, would 10 out of 10 would do again.
I
Yeah.
always
On the
I'll say it quick. I always go back to that TNT ladder match at Forbidden Door, where the spot was supposed to be Takeshita goes up, Briscoe breaks him down, everyone cheers, and then Jack Perry pulls him down, and then they boo. But it was Takeshita goes up. Everyone's freaking out because they're like, "This guy's the greatest thing ever." And then Briscoe pulls him down. They don't boo, but they're like, "Oh." And then Perry pulls him down. They're like, "Oh." Like it's just fascinating how they like and it's not their fault because, like, I can totally see in their mind, like, oh, that makes sense. Everybody loves Mark Briscoe, but no.
No. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Watching it live, like, there were points where I looked at you, Chandler, I looked at both of you, I was like, "What is happening right
Yeah.
now? What are we watching? Like, this is crazy. This is insane." Like, I've never seen anything quite like that. Like, the Takeshita factor, like, sure, you're gonna have a fun, crazy match with Ricochet and Osprey, but once you add that ingredient of Takeshita, it was something unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I think they just booked this match like perfectly because Takeshita was the monster heel who was like kicking ass and taking names. But like whenever they would come in, they would like it would still make sense. Like Osprey and Ricochet were perfect in this match. Like I've never really been a like they're both great. They're both incredibly talented, but they've never been my favorite. But like after this match, I was like, wow, they were both awesome in it. Like no shit, but
Yeah.
they both executed their parts well. I loved little bits where they were like, "Oh, we got to team up." Like at halfway through the match,
Yeah,
like we got to
they even
team up.
like gave each other a little like hand slap. The Takeshita's yet again, just like, oh fuck you guys.
Yeah, they're like hitting him like 20 times, and he just takes off his elbow pad and boom, boom, both are down. And I was like, "Oh my god, this is crazy!" And then when he hit his I think it's the Gonzo bomb when he like specifically tucks the legs in, but when he did that to Ricochet and like put him through that table and then he got back in and Osprey hit the hidden blade, I was like, oh no. And then he kicked out at one. I was like, yeah, maybe it's time. And then he hit him again and I was like, no, no. And then Callis ran in. Oh my god, just so fantastic. Like this might be my new favorite match of all time. I'm not like this might be the one. I'm not kidding. This might be the one. This was so good. Like just watch it, man. Like
Yeah.
even you could go to Twitter and watch some of the highlights, and you're like, yeah, Jesus Christ, that was good.
Yeah,
Um,
the front to back, the story they told, like that was the other thing too, was like it was an athletic feat just watching it, but it also told a cool story. Like these two guys who should have had Takesha's number, and he was just like, nah, bro, I'm too cool for you.
mhm. Of course, I'm super excited to see what happens with Takeshita next. I'm sure we'll get like a Takeshita Ricochet match on Dynamite for the title. But like I'm really excited for Osprey too. Because I've said it before, I'm most interested in Osprey when he loses. And it's not just because I hate him. It's because I want to see him like be brought down and
Yeah,
be like, oh, what do I do next?
yeah, he's
Um,
not John Cena.
I hope that it's not going back for the international title for two reasons. Obviously, because I want Takeshi to keep it for a bit, but like I want to see him do something else. Like
Yeah,
have him say
maybe what's his face finally comes back from injury. Mark Anthony, sorry,
Mark
Mark
Davis.
Davis.
Davis, and maybe Ricochet and Osprey team up and fight the Don Callis family.
Yeah, that could be
That'd
interesting. They
be
just got Lance Archer. A lot of people are thinking with Lance Archer joining the Don Callis family that they're going to really step up this
yeah.
anti-Osprey agenda with the Don Callis family because apparently they had a really big feud in New Japan. So
Oh, cool.
cool. I'm down with
By the
that.
way, well, a little bit of trivia. We know Jake the Snake and now Don Callis, but Lance Archer briefly had another manager in AEW. Do you remember, Dave?
Taz,
Um, no.
Tully Blanchard,
Another manager?
Mark Sterling, Stokely Hathaway.
Uh, I can't remember any other manager.
America Top Team, Dan Lambert. He was
Ah,
briefly managed by
Oh,
Dan Lambert.
wow. Good pull.
oh, I don't remember that. Okay, okay. Man,
So
yeah,
we
I
got
tried
out
to
of that
forget
one
Dan
fast.
Lambert. Yeah, tried to forget Dan Lambert.
Is
Uh,
anybody even around? I guess Scorpio Sky, sort of.
I mean, yeah. But cool, yeah, this match was everything and more. Like I can't even, yeah, I can't even.
I really wish I rewatched this match specifically so I could have more than, oh, they did a bunch of shit and it was awesome, but they did
Yeah.
a bunch of shit and it was awesome. Like, go watch it. Seriously. It was crazy.
Yes. But yeah, after that amazing match, we got Swerve returning, doing a little promo. Interrupted by MVP and Shelton Benjamin. They want him to choose their faction over Nana. Uh, Swerve basically admits that Nana's got his quirks, things that annoy him, selling weed to kids, high school kids in the parking lot. But he's still family. He chooses Nana. He tells MVP to shove his card up his ass, and uh, Shelton Benjamin was like, "Look, we weren't asking. You're either with us or against us." And they get in a little scuffle. Then we get security breaking them up. Uh, no Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, but them saying they didn't want two tragic endings on the pay-per-view, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
The biggest criticism I've heard of this was because people are like, oh, it should have been on Dynamite or something. But like, you gotta put Swerve in his hometown. You're
Yeah.
doing a pay-per-view in his hometown, and you're not gonna have Swerve there even just to come out and say hi. Like,
Yeah.
no. So I thought the segment was fine. I'm glad I got to see Swerve. Obviously, would have loved to see him wrestle, but
Yeah, it
like,
was
I
still
got to
cool
see
to
him.
see him talk. That I was floored at just how friggin' natural he was with the crowd. Like, oh man, he had us eating out of the palm of his hand. Like, oh my god. Yet again, it's like kind of cool to see it on TV, but there's something weird about being there, and it's like, man, like I was just blown away at like, I've seen plenty of good or mediocre and even bad promos, but he's a lead at everything he does. Like just the way like when MVP comes out and talks and talks and talks, then it's where it's like, first of all, hello. So like this guy's great.
I genuinely thought he was going to turn on Nana for a bit. I was like, I don't want to see this. I don't
Yeah.
want to see this. So I'm so glad he didn't. Yeah, just a fine, nice segment.
Yeah. And I like Shelton Benjamin's little bit in it too. Oh no, that wasn't a question. We're telling you to join us. Like, oh, this is gonna be good. I'm into it.
Hmm. Yeah. Then we're gonna get on Dynamite. Shelton Benjamin versus Leo Rush. Leo officially is all elite. Dot 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 again.
Ah, that's cool. They even like I saw a backstage promo where they were like, "Your second AEW contract, how you feeling?" And I think Shelton Benjamin interrupt, but good for Leo. I'm glad he's back.
Yep. I think it was a great call. He's been on TV for like what, 2 months now,
Since
regularly.
Forbidden Door, since the build to
Yeah.
Forbidden Door. So yeah, bring him in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great.
So
I hope he gets the opportunity to do his indie character, the Blackheart stuff. I'm friggin' fascinated by that.
yeah, me too. I wonder if they can get the ref to freeze when he
Right?
puts his heart pendant on him.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, yeah, cool stuff. After that, we get a 2 out of 3 falls. Hologram versus the Beast Mortos. Great lucha libre wrestling here. Uh, I loved Hologram Topes Mortos on the ramp. But dude, he does it with such force, but he goes for like the back of his neck. Like it's crazy the angle that he hits at. Uh, Hologram gets the first fall with a crucifix bomb. Mortos does a beautiful tornado on Hologram. Love that move. Mortos gets a second fall with a lariat. We get a reverse Hurricane Rana on the apron from Hologram to Mortos. Mortos power slams Hologram from the top rope. Hologram wins with the portal bomb. Yeah, really fun match. A lot of crazy things happened. A lot of great lucha libre, uh, you know, stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, loved it.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was cool. Usually that stuff is not really up my alley. Like, it always comes off maybe a hair too choreographed feeling for me, some of the lucha stuff, but like just the athletic feats those guys were doing was just like it was cool to see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was looking forward to this match and it didn't disappoint. It was just a nice, solid match. It was nice to see Hologram and Mortos on a pay-per-view card, and Hologram gets to keep his winning streak, so that's also really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and Beast Martos can boast though that he got the first pin on him too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, good point. Yeah, I loved it. Like there was so much stuff going on. Like you can't, write it all down. Like the Osprey Takeshita Ricochet match. Like so much happened. You can't really. You just gotta watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun stuff. After that, we get a pretty brutal match. Darby versus Brody King. I don't feel like Darby got punished as much as he did from John Moxley.
That's true.
But still pretty punishing. I did like I was hoping we were gonna get a situation that warranted a "you can't kill him" chant for Darby Allin, like they did against Moxley. But yeah, we got a really cool video package with Darby Allin, kind of paying homage to Tacoma skateboarding and a skate park, and then uh, riding a skateboard, being pulled behind a bus. Pretty cool. Apparently Darby ate shit. That's why he fell on the ground when he was coming out of the tunnel.
Oh, that's
Did
funny.
you, he was on a skateboard and he just
Oh, that sucks.
I've been waiting for that to happen. I always like I was every time I see him come out on the skateboard, I'm like, odds are he's gonna eat shit one of these times.
yeah,
He
that's why
did,
he
but we
fell.
didn't get to see it.
Yep. Let's see. Brody King put the steel steps on top of Darby on the floor and climbs up on them and stands on the steps and poses. That was pretty cool. Uh, Darby avoids a cannonball from Brody King. Then Darby puts Brody in a chokehold and dangles him from the apron, kind of opposite of what Brody did to him in the past. Darby pushes King off the corner onto the steel steps and then gives him a coffin drop on the steps. Then Brody King barely beats the 10 count, but then eats another coffin drop. Darby wins the match. I did not feel like Darby was going to win, but he earned it. Then we got some sportsmanship after that. Brody King shook his hand. Thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Uh, and I didn't notice this, but I've been hearing Brody King did not have House of Black music. I
Oh,
think
cool.
I think Malachi's on his way out. I think House of Black is crumbling.
I thought I thought his contract was out until like 2026 or something like that.
No, man. Maybe they're gonna grant him a release.
Maybe. I quite liked this match. Also not my match of the night, not top three, but like just a nice solid match. I thought both Brody and Darby looked really good. I liked how Darby won, where the steps were placed up like side up essentially, so it's the flat part, and then he just pushed Brody onto them. That looked awful.
The
And then
little
he
wave right before he did it too. I was like, oh, you cheeky bastard.
Yeah, that was fun. And then he coffin dropped him on that, and then he rolled him in and coffin dropped him again. I thought it was a really fun match, and I want to see more from Brody King most of all in this. Like, I think Darby's going to get a big old push, very soon. But I really hope Brody gets something.
Yeah, he had a good showing in the C2. Maybe he'll be another one in that. But, like, singles Brody is kind of something we need more of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like, I think one of the
he's
few really
ruthless.
big men that get booked well in AEW.
I'd say he's like the only. Takeshita might be turning it around, but like
Yeah,
I think he's like, yeah, he's always been at least pushed well, or not like over pushed. Like, oh, Wardlow,
yeah,
get him to the top and then lose, and he disappears, and then like
yeah,
it's not crazy. He's like, oh no, it's Brody King.
yeah.
He's
When he
doing
shows up on his
moderately.
own, he fucks people up. Even if he takes the loss, he still fucks them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, really enjoyed this match. It wasn't, anything spectacular. Yeah, couple cool scenes that'll stick in my brain. Climbing the steps when they're on top of Darby, I thought that was cool. And then the coffin drop on the steps, pretty cool. But yeah, really enjoyed it. I'm glad Darby got the win. Now looking back on it, he needed that. Uh, cool. After that, we get the AEW World Tag Team titles up for grabs. Young Bucks defending against Private Party. Private Party get a video package. I figured out who that guy was. It's Amazing Red, their trainer, uh, hyping them up, saying that they gotta get it. It's been 5 years. Blah blah blah. Uh, they get in the ring. Matthews talking shit to them, saying they're always going to be a mid card act, and the closest they'll ever be to the tag titles is sniffing them right then. They get in a brawl. They make their way to the stage. Mark Quinn, Senton's on the pile, but he kind of hit Zay more than the Young Bucks. Um, Let's see. Private Party take control with a series of moves to the Bucks. The Young Bucks try their Senton Powerbomb combo with Zay, but Zay reverses it and gives Matthew a Hurricane Rana, which I thought was great. They had that scouted out. Private Party do some Hardy Boys moves, paying tribute. Zay kicks out of a EVP trigger. That's when the crowd really livened up there. The Bucks end up winning though with a TK driver. Private Party are super upset. Isaiah Cassidy is sobbing. But the match made them look really good. I think they're on their way to eventually taking those titles.
Yeah, I like that. They've kind of evolved too, like between their time off and all, like the injuries and stuff. Like they've clearly bulked up a little, put on some muscle, and I feel like they've changed their wrestling style just a little. Like before, like he used to be like, wow, like it looks like he's floating, like he hangs in midair. But now, if their stuff feels just a little more direct and impactful and hurtful, like I feel like, yeah, it's time for like maybe they're gonna turn it up a little.
Yeah, I said it before. I feel like this is the match to build them to get the world titles, which is or the tag team titles, which is odd, but it makes sense. Like this is definitely something where I'm willing to let it play out, and I think this match was really fun. I had a great time with it. Except for at this point, I was just waiting for the Jericho match so I could go to the bathroom and get some water. So I will admit I wasn't all too paying attention because I was like, I need to pee, but it was still a really good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. The Young Bucks kicking out of the gin and juice. Uh, but yeah, they brought it. Private Party looked good. That was the best they've looked since they beat them 5 years ago. I know
Right?
they keep harkening back to that,
No, I liked
but
it. I liked it in the promo video where they were like, "You beat them 5 years ago. Cool. What have you done since then?" Like, it's not like the Bucks saying it; it's them saying it.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Yeah, like we get it. You did it. Cool. 5 years ago when Dynamite first started. What now? What have you done in those 5 years since?" And so I think it's really building them up eventually.
yeah, yeah, I loved it. Great match. Like the Young Bucks did their thing like they usually do, but yeah, Private Party brought it. It was very entertaining, uh, very enjoyable. very enjoyable. All right, we got our P break match. Uh, Ring of Honor World Championship. Mark Briscoe defending against Jericho. We got no code of honor here, no handshake. Uh, they brawl from the get go. We get some redneck kung fu from Briscoe. Big Bill tries to interfere, but Orange Cassidy comes out and Orange punches him back to the back over and over. Brian Keith tries to interfere, but Rocky Romero comes out and stops him. We know what side he's on. Briscoe dives off of the chair onto Jericho through a table. That was pretty brutal. Jericho hits the Judas effect on Briscoe, then does a J driller to Mark Briscoe and covers him, but Briscoe kicks out. That was when the crowd really woke up there. Briscoe ended up hitting the J Driller on Jericho for the win. I enjoyed the match. Jericho looked pretty agile. Uh, good match for him too.
Yeah, I only caught the last bit because I too had to use the restroom and also tried to enjoy the Tacoma Dome's finest Philly cheesesteak.
Did
5
look
out of
good.
10. 5 out of 10. It was all right.
Not to be rude, I tried to enjoy the match for the little bit I did, but the gentleman sitting next to us was chewing his chicken with his mouth open. So I was trying to watch the match, and all I could hear was, and so I was like, I need to go back to the bathroom, man. I can't. Like, I'm trying to watch this match, but Mark Briscoe was great. Jericho was good, and the right win. And yeah, I really don't have anything to say about this match. And I feel like if I did watch this match, I wouldn't have anything else to say other than it was fine. Yeah, I liked it, which is a lot for Jericho these days.
Fair.
True. True. But yeah, that was our semi-main event. Now our actual main event. Brian Danielson, potentially final match versus John Moxley. Uh, uh, Final countdown plays. Uh, Danielson comes out. Moxley attacks him during his entrance. The final countdown continues to play. They brawl on the floor. We get Danielson with Saiku kneeing Moxley with a chair. Moxley uh, gives Danielson a pile driver on the Spanish announce desk. We get a "fuck you, Moxley" chant from the entire building. Uh, then he slaps the headset off of Nigel McGuinness's head. Uh, Moxley beats the shit out of Danielson for a while. Marina Shafir attacks Danielson while the referee isn't looking. Then she peels back the padding, exposing the concrete on the floor. They beat the shit out of each other for a while more. Marina Shafir gets uh, ejected for getting caught attacking Danielson again. Danielson kicks Moxley's fucking head in. Then Moxley gives Danielson a paradigm shift on the concrete. Danielson knees Moxley a few more times. Danielson kicks out of a pin at 1. Moxley gives Danielson a gotch style pile driver, then a rear naked choke, and this is where it just went anticlimactic, man. The referee just calls it. It was just like, what? Moxley wins. He ended Brian Danielson's full-time career.
Who
Uh,
wants a fun fact before we discuss this match?
I
Okay,
would like some fun.
So, who was Brian Danielson's last opponent, at least in terms of like full on, like he'll probably go to part time, but like full time wrestling, who was his last opponent?
Audio.
John Moxley.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Well, it was tonight, right?
Yeah.
There was Saturday, right? Who was Daniel Bryan's last opponent in WWE?
Please tell me it was Dean Ambrose.
Was Roman Reigns.
Oh, cool.
Who was Daniel Bryan's last opponent on Monday Night Raw?
Was it
Seth
Seth?
Rollins.
Seth Rollins.
Oh, that's nuts.
So at least 3 of his last matches have been against the Shield members, and I think that was neat. Unfortunately, you got a lot of people saying, "Oh, the Roman Reigns match was better than but," and it's like, no, they're different matches. Like they're completely different matches. But I actually quite liked this match. I thought Moxley looked great. Um, I've not been the biggest fan of Moxley for quite some time, but I've been intrigued in his like new role or his new gimmick, I guess. Of I'm going to take over AEW because it sucks, and it sucks when I'm not in charge. I think that's interesting, but I was like, when we get to the ring, like, is it gonna work out? Like, is it gonna be boring Moxley? But he's motivated, he's sharp, he's scary. Like, I believe him. So I thought this was a really nice match, and I think I'm okay with the ending. I think we already talked about how we would change it, but like I think that's what they wanted. They
Yeah.
wanted that
It's
deflating.
their act two. It's their Empire Strikes Back moment. Like all hope has to feel lost before the good guys win for it to feel good. But
Your shot of the rebel fleet as they're evading,
yeah,
is that shot of there's like a shot of Hook, Daniel
yeah,
Garcia, Orange Cassidy, and Darby Allin. Like
yeah.
that's your like this is the hope of AEW, these new young guys who really give a shit about the company, but look at what they have to go up against.
Yeah, no. Yeah, for me, like I don't mind the downer part. For me, the only part that really got to me was they're wrestling, ding, ding, ding. Like I said, a tap out, the old arm lift, 1, 2, 3, something like because to me it just felt sudden. I probably will feel different when I watch it back on television and you can hear the commentator selling it more and stuff. It'll probably play a little differently, but just in the crowd, it was just like getting into the groove of the wrestling match. Oh, the finish is coming up soon. Never mind, it's done.
Yeah. But I will say that's a pretty sick finish of pile driver straight into choke. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
how would you get out of that? Especially someone like Danielson who has a history of neck issues. Like, I'm gonna drop you on your head and then I'm gonna choke you. What
yeah.
what's your game plan here? You don't, you die. Like, I thought it was good.
Yeah, yeah. So after the match, they put the title in a duffel bag. Who they gonna give it to? Um,
Shane. Shane. Shane.
uh, then they grab a plastic bag. Darby and Yuta run out, but Yuta turns on first Darby, and then he chokes Danielson with the plastic bag. Oh my gosh.
What's up with
Uh,
Darby
pri-
getting turned on in Wrestle Dream?
Right?
Because last year it was Nick Wayne. This year it's Yuta. Poor Darby, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I have to
Uh,
admit, as a goof, I was gonna try to download Shane's song and play it on my phone like he was coming out to pop Dave. But
Oh, I would have popped. I would have been like, yeah.
yeah, private party, Jeff Jarrett run out, but they get stopped. Claudio puts Danielson's neck in a chair and then stomps on it. Danielson gets taken out on a stretcher. Uh, and they end with Hook and Orange Cassidy, Darby, um, Adam Cole out there, Jeff Jarrett. They're all
yeah, even
getting him
Nigel was kind
stretchered
of
out.
looking pissed off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really do like how it was like the final bit to save Danielson felt desperate, but like you just had a big pay-per-view. All these guys, all your good guys are going to be tired.
Yeah,
So like you start with security, you send out like 10 guys, they fight them off, and then you send out like, oh, private party, please, private party, but no. And then it's like it's only when it's like Hook and Danny and Adam Cole and like it's everyone going in at once, then they finally like scare him away. Jeff Jarrett gets his little moment. We all popped for Jeff
yeah,
Jarrett though. It was great to see him.
dude.
I just liked how desperate it felt. Like they were like, oh, like we let this get out of hand. Like, this is really bad. Like, we thought it was bad, but now it's really bad, and like, we need to stop this now because it's already too late.
Yeah.
Um,
Who here is looking forward to Dynamite? This shit's gonna be
Man.
interesting.
but I think
Yeah, it is.
my favorite part of the match might have been Nigel. Like, I didn't even hear him, but there's a bit where Moxley like flips off his little headset, and like he just sits there for like, or he stands there for like 5 minutes, just like with this glare. He's like, "What the fuck?" Like, and then there's a bit where you watch him after like Brian's getting killed. Like, I did kind of take this from someone because I didn't watch the Ring of Honor feud, but like you can kind of pick up on it for someone who's been listening to Nigel so much and loving him for like the year of AEW I've watched. I can pick up this on my own. But Nigel, like, yeah, he hates Brian Danielson, but he always wanted to beat him. He's always been like, oh, I'm better than him. And only when they started fighting is it's kind of been like, oh, he hates him mostly because he got what Nigel felt like he deserved and never did, you know? So I really like that idea. And so for Moxley to just come in and straight up kill him, right? He's like, I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
Like, here's this guy I've hated for like years. This is one of the longest rivalries in wrestling where he just hates him so much. And but you never wanted him to die. He was never gonna kill him. He was gonna do
Yeah. He
awful
just
things to
wanted to
him.
pin him.
Yeah, he just wanted to beat him. So I like that idea of like a gradual shift of Nigel where he's still gonna be your this guy shucks shit. I like Mariah May, but just at least with yeah, I think even in the post show I saw he gave Brian Danielson a little bit of praise. I think he was like, yeah, he put in an admirable effort tonight. Like
Oh.
what? What? Who is this guy?
Well,
So
apparently on commentary, he was like sympathetic and almost like was rooting for him.
well, yeah. I mean, like,
Like, yeah. So I gotta find time to go back and actually watch it. The commentary will for the whole show will add a whole nother flavor. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was super deflating, but that's what they wanted. Like they pulled it off. And poor Justin Roberts. All right, guys, thank you for coming. Drive safe. Boo.
They gotta have something to show like the show's over and no one's gonna come out and save it. So they're like, Justin, say something. And he's like, bye guys, have
I
a good night.
don't want to.
Boo, you suck. Why didn't you get in there, man?
Where's JoJo?
Uh,
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Dynamite really bad.
I think they've
Um,
I know,
announced
I was joking with Dave too. Like, is Christian just like standing in the cart behind the curtain? Like, I'm gonna pass.
yeah. What's up with Christian now, huh? Huh?
Yeah. He don't want to cash in now. I guarantee that.
nope.
No.
Can I cash this in on the TBS title? Do you mean the TNT? I do not.
Nope.
Oh man.
Are we ready
Uh,
to look at the results of our
Ooh.
predictions?
oh yeah.
So this is definitely, I think, the most prop bets we've ever had. We had
Yeah,
like
we got pretty
basically
silly.
a whole page dedicated to prop bets, and this is one of the closest we've ever been, but not the closest because I'm pretty sure there was a time where like one of us won by 1 point, and then second and third tied by 1 point. Like, anyways, in third place with 27 points, Chad. In second place with 29 points, Dave, which means the winner. And I'm going to say it's all because of Takeshita, baby. Me with 30 points. It was really close,
Damn.
but
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
Takeshita got you.
I'll
Got you
go
there.
over. I got like no prop bets. Like, I got so many prop bets wrong, but I think when we were doing them, a lot of the times we were just like, no, no. And so I was like, well, we can't just have a prop bet and us all agree. So I was like, yeah, we're gonna get Mark Davis. Yeah, we're gonna get an impromptu Zack Sabre Jr. match. But mostly, I think the biggest things that kind of swayed was obviously the Takeshita match because I was the only one who went all in. Dave was all in on Osprey, and then Chad thought Osprey was gonna win. Um, What else? What else? Chad wanted Jericho to win, so that was just straight off the bat losing points. Um, Dave, you wanted Brody King, or you were all in on Brody King winning, so that cost you some points in the end. Um, I was all in on Hangman. That cost me a lot of points. So that's why it's so even. And then just the like little spatterings of prop bets kind of like edged it like closer. Like you guys both thought Kenny Omega was coming back. Um, Chad probably got a lot of prop bets right just by saying no. Because you were like, you said no
Yeah.
to Lashley, no to Shane, no to Adam Copeland, no to Rebecca Quinn, um, no to Powerhouse Hobbs, no to Mark Davis, no to Zack Sabre Jr., no to the Christian Cage cash in, no to Julia Hart. Like that all got you like 10 points right there just saying no. So it was
I
really
got Adam
close.
Cole, right? Did I
We all
get
said
that?
no to Adam Cole and we all said no to MJF.
What?
Yep.
What the hell? Okay. But yeah, I felt like the main event like was just missing
Wait, did I
something.
get one
Like it.
for Copeland? He did show up on the Tron. I'm
Uh
joking. I know
I
that
was gonna
didn't
say
count.
if we're counting Copeland,
That didn't count.
Uh-huh.
you did say yes. You did say yes. That puts you at 28.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting to find out where we go from here. I mean, Danielson's full-time career has ended,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, and he was
you know,
wrestling without a contract for those last few matches, anyways.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you think he's going back to WWE?
No,
No.
no, he's gonna go get surgery, get fixed, rehab, and
He
if
doesn't
he
even
ever feels like wrestling again, it'll probably be in AEW.
he said he doesn't even want to be put in the Hall of Fame. Like he hasn't been like really negative, but he said something like AEW's the only wrestling company I care about.
Yeah.
Like when he's been asked like would you even want to be put in the Hall of Fame, he's directly said like no. So, but like that's
Damn.
even more like AEW make a Hall of Fame. Sting, Brian Danielson. There's your first two introductions.
Yeah.
Whoa, crazy. And then you can throw people like Jerry Lynn, Dean Malenko, like all your producers backstage, put them in there. Paul White, like why
Yep.
not?
Taz.
Sucker.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Good call. Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Like there's a plenty of people that you can throw in there right off the bat. Just be like, look at all these people. Serena D would be a really good like
Yeah.
early women's entrant.
Wow.
But if we want to look at Dynamite, the only thing they have announced on their like AEW website is that it'll be Monet versus Queen Aminata. Nothing on the line, not even an eliminator match, which is interesting. Um, and then Adam Cole. This is on AEW's Twitter.
Yeah.
Adam Cole will return. Again, John Moxley is the new AEW World Champion. Nobody is safe. That is literally what it says. And then Shelton Benjamin versus Leo Rush. So should be at least a fun show. Um,
Yeah, it'll be a good Fallout show and probably a setup for the next 3-4 months worth of stories. It'll probably be promo heavy, and it'll probably be actually pretty fun. Last time they had a show like that, I was actually bang up for it. I enjoyed it a lot.
or
Yeah.
actually like a month and a half almost away from Full Gear. So we have plenty of time.
Yep. Yeah, nice time to let it marinate, let it simmer. Um, yeah, looking forward to that too. I mean, I look forward to every AEW pay-per-view, but
And just
um,
kind of like looking at who they have, like literally if you just look at whose faces are on the posters for Dynamite, because they're all different. Obviously Moxley's on a lot of them, Darby's on a lot of them, Osprey's on a lot of them, which makes sense. Hangman's on a lot of them, which I'm a little surprised about. Monet's on a lot of them, and then it like everything else is just kind of the elite. And then if you have to put one more, Chris Statlander's on there a lot. Like it's a
Oh
lot of
heck yeah.
like Statlander, OC, The Elite, Mariah May, Moxley, Hangman, Ospreay, which is like
Cool.
kind of gives us an idea of who's going to be on the shows a lot for the next preceding future. But yeah, cool with it.
I like how Orange Cassidy's been in a faction with Statlander and Willow. Kind of neat.
Mhm.
To be fair, like at some point, everybody's teamed with OC at some point.
I'm pretty sure I've teamed with OC at some point. This shit just happens.
But cool, yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget to dust off that elbow drop that like button, power bomb that subscribe button, and leave a little comment. Please leave a comment. We want to know what you're thinking. We'll talk about anything wrestling related you want to talk about.
What'd you think of Wrestle Dream? What'd you think of Bad Blood? Are you excited for Crown Jewel?
Ooh.
I'm excited. Who's gonna win the first ever Crown Jewel Championship? I'm so excited.
Are you on Team Gunther or Cody?
I think Gunther's gonna
Or
win
Goldberg.
it. No, I think Gunther's gonna win it because Cody is gonna be like distracted by Kevin Owens. That's gonna be my prediction.
Is that a prediction or a spoiler?
It's Paul Heyman's gimmick. I can't steal from Paul Heyman except for when I do. But yeah, a lot of people are really upset about Saudi getting another thing, but like
They have a 10-year contract. They're only like 4 years into it.
Well, like last year's Crown Jewel was kind of like LA Knight and Roman Reigns. Gee, I wonder who's gonna win that. Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio. Ooh, but like there wasn't a whole lot last year, so I can totally see Saudi being like, "Hey, give us something big," and like they kind of have to. They have a deal with them. Like, is it the best deal? No, but like, what isn't soccer doing a big deal with them now? Like MLS and UFC and boxing. Like a lot of things are just going to Saudi Arabia right now. So I kind of just hope this is a deal that is not renewed, kind of like Def Rebel. We never really talked about that. WWE is not keeping their deal with Def Rebel, who has been making all their themes for the last couple of years. And if you've been wondering why all of WWE's themes have been awful for like 3 years, it's because of Def Rebel. So
they're definitely no CFO $.
they're now Jim Johnston. But I think the idea is they're gonna go with like actual songs.
Oh,
they're
cool.
gonna go to pop culture. So could be like AEW has like some of those. Maybe they'll do more. Maybe they'll do
new
less.
metal makes a resurgence.
Yeah,
rolling.
But yeah, I think I know we just kind of threw that in there, but I don't have any other news coming up about WWE that I can think of or anything to really talk about, because even though they have this neat champion versus champion thing going on, at the end of the day, it's still just a Saudi pay-per-view, so it's not really that canon.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that might just about do it. I keep hearing something in my headphones. Some kind of realm.
Oh, are you watching porn? Oh, wait. Podcasts. I meant to say podcasts.
Are you watching Portraits of a Miracle? That's what he was going to say, YouTube. Portraits of a Miracle. It's my favorite show. What were you going to say, Chad, about the audio realm?
So yeah, if you would rather listen to us as opposed to watch us on the YouTube, we are available on all major audio podcast formats, such as Amazon, Apple, and Spotify. If there's somewhere you would like us to appear on, if we're not on your favorite platform, let us know down in the comments below, and I will make sure we get onto that platform.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Chad. Thank you, Chandler, for joining.
There's one
Thanks,
more news.
Dave.
I'm sorry. Zack Sabre Jr. won. He won the IWGP title. That's why he wasn't there.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Cool. Cool.
We were all like, where's Zack Sabre Jr.? Oh, he's doing something way bigger than I have a little silly match on Wrestle Dream. So I'd like to humbly apologize to Zack Sabre Jr. New Japan Pro Wrestling, Tetsuya Naito, and anyone else offended by me saying, "Where's my ZSJ?" Like, he had bigger fish to fry.
Fair.
You beat Naito?
Yeah, Naito beat Moxley at Forbidden Door, and
Yeah.
I don't think anyone beat Naito. So,
Wow. Cool. I'd like for him to defend that belt maybe at Full Gear. That'd be fun.
I'm sure he'll hold it for a while. So,
He'll be at Forbidden Door with it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone out there for joining. And I'm probably going to do the thing.
Yeah.
do the thing.
All right.
Do the thing.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye bye.